Hey, good to see everybody right here on 5 News Plus for another edition of 5 Outdoors. You may recall last week we talked about this really cool new program called the Legacy Lunker Program. It's brought to us by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Off to a huge start. And so after I heard a little bit of the story of the last week, I wanted to ask Trey, hey, could you come back and visit with us? Trey, you got to tell us what's happened over the last week. And it's the first week of this program, and it seems like it's off to a hopping start.
It is really hopping, Scott, and some really cool storylines have sort of organically developed already with this. Cat's out of the bag. Our first Legacy Lunker was caught Saturday by Kevin Riney, you've seen there from Jonesboro, at a relatively small body of water, comparatively speaking, with some of our lakes in the state. Lake Austell, about 85 acres, a small man-made lake within the confines of Village Creek State Park at Wynn on Crowley's Ridge. You may remember 12, 14 years or so ago, we had a potential new state record largemouth bass of 16 pounds, 5 ounces caught on Lake Dunn, which is very near Lake Austell. Now, unfortunately, that fish was disqualified as a contender to be the state record because the angler who caught it did not have a valid Arkansas fishing license at the time, something that came to light after we originally inspected the fish and certified as a largemouth and certified scale weight and all that stuff. So I just want to put that into perspective, like where we're talking about. Lake Dunn and Lake Austell, very nearby. But Scott, here's where the story really gets interesting. So Kevin Riney there catches the first Legacy Lunker, a little over 12 pounds on Saturday. Thursday, a little bit after lunchtime, we get a call from Dylan Riney. Yes, the same Riney. It is the son of Kevin Riney. And he says, I've got one a little bit over 10 on my handheld scale here in the boat. I'm back at Lake Austell. So Will Lancet, who is the Legacy Lunker Program coordinator for Arkansas Game and Fish, leaves the central Arkansas area. He's on call 24/7 essentially to go pick these fish up when we get that call at the number you see there on the screen on the side of the truck. Will heads over. As he's en route to the Wynn area, again up on Crowley's Ridge, gets another call from Kevin Riney and says, hey, you're not going to believe this. My friend in the boat with me, Kyle Lockridge, just caught one about 11 and a half pounds while we're waiting
kidding.
for you.
You're kidding.
I am not. It sounds too good to be true, Scott,
Same
but in
lake,
this case,
same
it is
date,
not.
same boat, same fishing party.
I know. So one family and a friend of theirs has accounted for the first 3 Legacy Lunkers, all from one really small body of water over in East Arkansas. Those fish were accepted into the program, taken to the Lunker Bunker, our Legacy Lunker Program hatchery, dedicated space there at the Lone Oak, Joe Hogan Lone Oak Fish Hatchery. So just a kind of a neat story that, you know, I think we were surprised by a couple of things, that Lake Austell produced the first 3 fish for Legacy Lunker, that they essentially all came from one kind of fishing party, and that it all happened within a 4-day span. So really, really exciting stuff.
And this runs now through March 31st. You could only hope that the rest of that program is this exciting.
Yeah, we do. And look, we're not going to turn any fish away as long as they're healthy, you know, when we show up to pick them up. But they're already talking at this rate. Are we going to have enough space in the hatchery? They have
problem.
They have dedicated concrete raceways there. I mean, specifically designed for this program. They can be used for other purposes as well. The neat thing, because there are issues with disease and, like, you know, maybe disease that's present in one watershed that's not in another, you know, an invasive species like a zebra mussel may be in a watershed and not in. So there's all kinds of biosecurity protocols that go around this thing. But one of the things we're trying to do is, like, keep fish from individual watersheds in their individual raceways. Well, the good thing is we get to put all 3 of these fish in one raceway.
That's
so
right.
There's still multiple other raceways available if we have a hot weekend this weekend, for instance.
I want to ask you some behind the scenes, like, give me the color there at Arkansas Game and Fish Commission this week. Like, what's the chatter been? You were excited about the program, but could any of you imagine it would get started like this with, like, this specific story?
No is the short answer, and because everything has happened so rapidly, and the unique circumstances of a father and son catching Legacy Lunker 1 and Legacy Lunker 3, and then a friend of the son's catching number 2. Yeah, no. We also had our monthly commission meetings Wednesday and Thursday in Little Rock, Scott. So Thursday, a lot of this happens basically right after the commission meeting wraps up. There's commissioners in the building. A lot of staff comes in. Staff comes in for those meetings. So there was a lot of huddles. Every from the chief of fisheries to our comm staff, folks like me, to those bass program people, to the director, Doug Schoenrock, and we're like, everybody's like, I guess, Scott, to sum it up in a word, the sentiment was sort of, wow.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. That's awesome. Trey, thanks for coming on and sharing that with us. While I got you, it's the middle of winter. Literally, we've hit the halfway mark, despite the fact that it's been warm and there's been hardly any snow. We're at the halfway mark, which kind of feels weird to be talking about spring turkey season. But you're here to tell me that perhaps there's a reason we need to start talking about spring turkey season.
Yeah, let's talk about it. If you're gonna, are interested in getting your hands on one of the Game and Fish Commission's wildlife management area limited access hunt permits, now's the time to do it. The application period opened January 15th, so we're just a couple days in now. It runs all the way through February 15th, but I want to give folks just a heads up that now, go ahead and get in there, get your application put in, agfc.com. It's the same as our licensing portal. It's like upper right-hand portion of the screen. When you go to agfc.com, you'll say get licensed, buy permits. There is a $5 non-refundable application fee. If you win the permit, there is no additional fee, though. You can go to agfc.com/turkeys and see a list of all the areas and the number of permits that are available, as well as the hunt dates, because they do vary. Some places may have multiple hunts, over 2 or 3 days and a week off and then 2 or 3 more days. So, make sure that aligns with your schedules. The reason we do these limited access permit hunts like this, we do this for deer hunting, and you have some areas that are well known among turkey hunters and the hunting public in general as being very productive areas to turkey hunt. They're good spots. Places like Harold E. Alexander Wildlife Management Area, sort of in the eastern Ozarks. There are many others, but without this permitting system, you would have a situation where probably a lot of people would, 90% of the people showing up at 10% of the places. Well,
sure.
What happens there? You've got crowding, you've got pressure, you've got more people pursuing the birds than really you probably need to. That puts a lot of pressure on the birds. It also creates a situation where, it probably reduces the quality of the hunting experience for those who are there. So these permits allow us to really dial in to the number of birds that, we think are sustainable to take off of any given wildlife management area during a season, and reduces pressure and the number of folks that are going to be showing up on any given day, and thereby increasing the likelihood of a positive experience and a quality experience for everybody who does win a permit.
I got to ask you, Trey, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm trying to dig deep in my memory from some of our conversations last year. Some of the turkey estimates kind of improved from years past. Am I making that up, or is that accurate?
No, you're not, Scott. Last year was our highest turkey harvest, in about 15 years or so. I don't remember exactly the last high water mark before that, but if you'll think about turkeys in Arkansas, the late 90s, early 2000s were our peak of harvest. And we're talking numbers like, 20, 22,000 birds. And last year, I think we got up around 13, 14,000, which was a significant increase. And we have been trending upward. That's largely the result of some pretty conservative season structures and regulation measures that have been in place for the last number of years. Now, some of those, I think, as a result of input from hunters, as well as the positive trends that we're seeing, we have sort of changed the turkey season structure up a little bit for this year with 3 different zones and 3 different opening dates for that matter. Basically with your behind the levee Mississippi River zone being the earliest opener, South Arkansas opening the following week, and then North Arkansas opening the following week. Now, the beauty of this is we have some fantastic data that we have gathered over the last number of years with these autonomous recording units, ARUs, they're essentially a digital recording device that are noise activated, or we set them up to capture sounds between certain times of day. So we're setting them up to catch like the first 3 hours of the day of daylight, and it counts the number of turkey gobbles. So we have a pretty good idea about the peak of gobbling, and we are seeing that it naturally, as a lot of turkey hunters already knew, and as common sense would tell you, there's some difference between Union County in South Arkansas and Benton County in Northwest Arkansas.
Sure.
Obviously, that latitudinal difference makes a difference in when birds are gobbling. So, but yes, Scott, we have had a nice increase in turkey harvest, trending upward. And I have been a little surprised, to be honest with you personally, that we had a really wet April this year. Some of those floods that had 10, 12, even up towards 20 inches of rain in some watersheds over 24, 48-hour period. Those really wet springs are not good for poult baby turkey survival, but we had some pretty decent hen to poult ratios and some good brood survey data that came back from the field this summer. So feeling pretty good about our gobbler carryover. We've been protecting first year birds, jakes, for the last number of years. And so I think that's a very long-winded answer to your question, Scott, but a lot of things have come together to where turkeys, while they have been in some population decline and reduced harvest, we are seeing some positive trends over the last few years.
Just very anecdotally, and I'm not going to give away a secret location here, but I was in a place, an undisclosed location, not too long ago that I've not seen turkeys on in at least 10 to 12 years, and I came up on 8 or 10. They were all hens, but I thought, wow, okay. Anecdotally, that's the first time I've seen turkeys here in a really long time.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think there's a lot of anecdotal evidence like that around the state, and I think people who haven't seen turkeys in certain areas, very similar experience. We hear from them often, like, "Hey, I saw some turkeys for the first time in several years, or 20 years, or whatever it might be." But hey, don't be disappointed that all you saw was hens, because hens are the
That's
ones
good.
that have baby turkeys and make more. So we'll take all the hens we can get.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of 5 Outdoors. As always, we appreciate Trey making some time to talk with us. We hope you'll join us again right here on 5 News Plus next week for more.